And we are live. Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/WCSN312. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Ice Cream Social is your one-stop shop for everything in the entertainment and media industry, ranging from sports, politics, automotive, celebrities, and of course, controversial topics. With your favorite host, Mondo, dedicating most of his time to making sure he provides his listeners with the latest and greatest in entertainment. Don't miss a beat and follow the Ice Cream Social on Twitter at ICS_podcast and subscribe on iTunes, Google Music Play, and SoundCloud. Tune in every Sunday for another exciting episode of the Ice Cream Social, the podcast everybody is craving for.
They say humans are social animals. They can't live alone. But you can live pretty well by yourself. I tell you, instead of feeling alone in a group, it's better to have real solitude all by yourself.
Chicago, thank you, and welcome to WCSN, the Windy City Sports Network. I'd like to take this moment to talk about our social media outlets and the platforms you can listen and find us on. You can follow us on Twitter at WCSN312. Like us on our Facebook at Windy City Sports Network or at WCSN312. We also recently just joined Instagram, and you can follow us there at WCSN312 as well. We post all our shows to listen to on our social media outlets. If you're driving to work, you're driving back home from work, working out, or just chilling at home, pop on your headphones. You can listen to us on many platforms. Number one is iTunes. Our goal is to become a top 100 podcast. We need your help. By going on iTunes, rate us by giving us 5 stars and subscribe. We're on Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, our original platform, SoundCloud, Overcast, CastBox, Podbean, the podcast app, and most recently, Google Play. Search for Windy City Sports Network and you'll find us there. All platforms are free to you and available on iOS or Android phones, tablets, Apple TV, or any mobile devices or computers. We are beginning to do quick live pre-shows on our social media outlets, so make sure you follow or like us there. We will be live on Periscope, which is via our Twitter, and Facebook Live before every live broadcast. Lastly, you can watch us live. Interact with us via the chat rooms on our newly launched YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, search Windy City Sports Network to our channel. You can watch us live or watch any of our older podcasts there. We created our YouTube channel for you, our fans, to interact with us during our shows. Ask us any questions, and we will spew our opinions. We will be broadcasting CSCR, Chicago Sports Crunch Radio, every Friday at 7 p.m. live. And bi-weekly, every Wednesday at 7 p.m., Wrestle Talk Radio will be live. Only on our YouTube channel, so subscribe now. If you have any questions, you can use our social media outlets or email us at windycitysportsnetwork@gmail.com. Like I have said many times before on this show, this is a passion project. We don't make any money off of this, and we have expenses, equipment, distribution costs, etc. If you guys enjoy our show and would like to buy us a beer, you can, and it would be greatly appreciated. Go to our Patreon page, become our patron, and you can donate as much as you want. We will have rewards updated monthly in return. Just go to our Patreon page at Windy City Sports Network. Again, remember, we are WCSN, the Windy City Sports Network, built by the fans, for the fans. We would like to thank all our affiliates and sponsors for supporting WCSN, the Windy City Sports Network. Here's a quick message from one of our affiliates. Thinking of starting your own podcast? Don't know what software or distributor to use? It's real easy and simple with Podbean. Go to podbean.com/WCSN312. Podbean is the world's leading podcast publishing platform. Over 100,000 people worldwide choose Podbean to create their podcasts. Your all-in-one podcasting solution. With Podbean, you create professional podcasts in minutes without any programming knowledge. Best of all, everything is mobile ready right from the start. You get unlimited podcasting, comprehensive stats, custom branding, reliable media hosting. You can share almost everywhere and get huge audience engagement. The community in Podbean is over 172,000 podcasters, over 5.8 million episodes, and has 5.4 billion downloads. Plans go as low as $9 a month for unlimited audio and $29 a month for unlimited video and audio. If you go through our link, you get your first month free. Give them a try. Go to www.podbean.com/WCSN312.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CSCR Chicago Sports Crunch Radio. This is the show that brings to you the highlights of the sports world and industry, from the NBA, NFL, MLB, EPL, and so much more. CSCR is here to focus on local sports in the Windy City, from the Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, and White Sox. We're here to talk sports to the true fans of Chicago. We are live here from Studio One at WCSN, the Windy City Sports Network. This is CSCR Chicago Sports Crunch Radio.
And we're back. And this time it's boxing. One More Round Radio, second episode since we started on YouTube. This is episode number 12. Got some hot topics. The most interesting one for me is Canelo taking steroids. And we'll discuss that into further detail. It's going to be pretty interesting. And then obviously the Wilder fight that just happened. And Jackman's got a plethora of other fights that he wants to discuss and talk about as well, too. And we have Mr. Bull with us for the, I think, second time since we relaunched.
Yeah, second time.
Right? So, welcome, guys. Obviously, to my right is Mr. Jackman.
Hey, great to be here, guys.
And the mic sounds
Thanks
amazing. And to my left is Sammy the Bull.
What's up, guys? Glad to be here.
So we are doing, obviously, sorry, I know we were trying to start it right up, but there's a lot of uploading to do. And from the previous Chicago Sports Crunch, and then to start this up, it took about a good hour to get through. And then obviously Tom Chris wouldn't leave, kept yapping, and we were just like, dude, shut up so we can get the ball rolling here, but he wouldn't leave. I don't know what the deal was with that guy. He just kept talking. It's the boss's son. I had actually intros for you guys, like the other guys. Oh, you guys weren't here when I did it. Were you?
No, we weren't.
No.
I forgot what I had. Oh, Mr. Jackman's intro you would like a lot. Let me find Jackman's intro really quick. Are you ready? So every time we introduce Jackman, this is it. Oh, no, hold on. I'm sorry. Man, I feel like I'm Chris again now. Oh, hold on. I can't do it. It's still playing until it's done. Then we can go from there. No, damn it. All right, here.
I think I know what it is. Just from that little.
Just from that?
Yep.
Oh, Rocky.
Yeah.
Nice.
I recognized it.
So it'd be like Mr. Jackman for the boxing show.
It.
I like it.
Thank
What did
you.
I have for Bull?
Thank you, Big
I had
Nick.
something for Bull.
Better be good.
I think all I
You know
did-
what the name of this song is? Let's see if you guys know.
No, I don't know.
Do you know, Big Nick?
No.
Gonna Fly Now.
By who?
I don't know. But it's Gonna Fly Now. That's the name of the
No,
song.
you know what I didn't? I
I
didn't
had
do
the
Bull?
Tiger.
Oh, yeah, that is. It's not a tiger, I thought.
No, it's
No,
not.
no. I had the
No, no,
Tiger
no.
is the other song.
Yeah. Yeah, this
Oh, that's
wasn't
the one I should
older.
have done for you.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I actually forgot to text you. I was going to text you and be like, dude, what is your favorite? Oh, no. I had a better one for Jackman. You ready for
No, I
Jackman?
like the one you picked.
No, this was the better one.
No,
I was
come on.
like, dude, I have to do this one. This is like my favorite one, dude.
You don't ever give me a face shake. You know that? So I'm gonna let you talk to Victor Ortiz, all right? I'm through. They put somebody else up and give me an interview. What are you talking about? You heard him. You never give me a face shake. HBO needs to fire you. You don't know shit about boxing. You ain't
Look
shit.
what he says.
You're not shit.
I remember.
I was 50 years younger and I'd kick your ass.
Oh, I love that guy. That was
Oh.
Bulls. That was Bulls.
I like it.
That was Bulls?
Tyson's punch.
Yeah,
out.
I was
love
gonna
that.
do Bulls intro as this.
What was
That's
it?
a good one.
007-373-5168.
Wow, how do you
Wow.
remember
That's
that?
the code to get into to fight Tyson.
That is
Wow.
crazy. I didn't even remember that.
No, I didn't either.
Yeah, I was gonna do this one for Bull. I forgot.
I like the Eye of the Tiger better, man. It's more macho.
I had it separate on it, and this runs for like 4 minutes. We can talk about boxing with this in the background, or no? You know what I was gonna do for me? This is, and I remember this.
Has the Barbary over the furs.
That's Harry Carey.
Yeah, listen, hold on.
It's hard to think in laudatory terms of the product.
I think if there was an occasional box of Cracker Jacks that found no prizes for
You remember this one?
No.
for the
He
little
was talking
Harry
about
Carey
Cracker
many years
Jacks. Watch.
I don't know what the big deal about Cracker Jack is. Did you ever go and buy a pack of Cracker Jack thinking you're going to get a prize and find no prize? in the
I
box?
remember watching this live.
Here's
You
the
do?
pitch.
Yeah,
Uh,
man, I miss those guys
Might
though.
not
Me
sound
too.
important
They were
to
awesome.
some people when
Yeah,
you're a little kid, especially from humble origin.
it's funny. I like them.
and
But
they teach
anyways,
you how to prize.
gets you almost goosebumps, you know.
Yeah, those were my my intros. I gotta find the Eye of the Tiger then for what's his name?
That was in Rocky 3.
Which one? The Eye of the Tiger.
Yes.
Yeah, we gotta find something
Yeah,
for it,
Rocky 3.
and then we can go from there. We've got what fights do you want to go over? Do you want to jump right into the Canelo
No, I want to talk a little bit about last week's fight.
before we start talking about Canelo and the whole steroid?
Yeah,
thing?
we'll build up to that.
Okay.
How do you feel, Sammy?
Yeah.
First
Go
fight.
ahead.
Okay.
You're going with it.
This is the first fight I seen last week.
Wait.
It was
Let's do this.
all right. This is the first fight, Mills Lane. Yeah, this is the first fight I seen last week on
Wait, didn't
Showtime.
Mills used to do this?
Yeah,
too?
yes, he did.
Yeah.
Andre Durrell versus Jose Ustaki, and as you guys remember, this is a rematch. The first fight ended in controversy, where Durrell got hit after the bell, and it was after the bell, and he was knocked out, and his uncle came in and sucker punched Ustaki. So this was a highly controversial, and they wanted to get this rematch on. It was a pretty good fight, but I seen Ustaki his pressure was bothering Darrell. Darrell's 34, Uzdaki's 27. He's Venezuelan. He boxed a lot in Mexico. He kept coming at him. He has a weird, awkward style. He would move around. He would kind of slope down, where Darrell was doing okay, countering him a little bit, but Jose was wearing him down. And in the 7th round, Darrell didn't come out. He didn't want to continue. He got wore down. He tried, but he just wore him down. Jose wore him down. Uzdaki wore him down.
So he didn't go back in. He didn't have it.
No, I mean, he was slowly getting beat up. His face was busted up.
He was getting tore up, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, slowly each round, it was looking a little worse for Darrell.
So it was the best decision for him.
Well, he didn't look like he was going to win, right?
Exactly. So he just said, you know what, that's it. I'm calling it and stuff.
Sammy, you seen?
Yeah, I did. I seen the fight. You could see that, like you were saying earlier, Jackman, Darrell, each round you can see the way it was going to go. I mean, Darrell's one of these guys where he's such a big talent, but he was never able to break through and win that world championship. One of the most talented fighters to never win a title. And I just don't know what it is with him. It's like he's almost missing something mentally. He has all the skills. All the skills are there. It's just that it seems that he takes parts of the round off.
I mean, when you watch him, he's a pretty fighter. And in a 3-round fight, amateur style, he would beat Jose Uzdaky probably 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10. Don't you think?
I agree 100%.
Yeah, he's a pretty fight. He's a southpaw. He punches nice. He's quick. He's got quick reflexes. He looks like the better fighter in the first couple rounds. But then Uzdaky, he put a lot of pressure on him and just wore him down.
What was up with Virgil Hunter? I thought he did a terrible job. I mean, he wasn't even up in front of the fighter.
Right.
He didn't even get up into the ring.
That was weird.
It was very strange. I found it to be extremely strange. I thought he did a terrible job.
Yeah, I know. That was weird.
I don't know if that was like he was trying to do something psychologically or what that was about, but I've never seen anything like it. Have you? In all your years of fighting? Up? No, I mean, literally, the guy was just sitting. I mean, he wasn't even on the ring. He was just sitting
right on the side,
like he was a spectator, like he was a fan, and he was yelling at him like, "Come on, Dre, come on, Dre,"
and he wasn't helping him out or anything.
I don't know what that was about. I really
maybe they got in an argument during the fight or something, and he just was like, "Screw this."
Was he up there at all? I didn't even see him. I didn't really see him. He was just, you could hear his voice, but very, very strange.
Right. Usually the cornerman stands in front of his fighter and gives him clear
or behind him, directly behind him, and then they let the cut man work on the fighter. This guy didn't either.
Right.
I've never seen
or on the
like
sides
it.
Usually when you see a fight.
Exactly.
Yeah, the cut man.
Yeah, I mean, it might have been an argument. Maybe he was telling him he wanted to give up a while ago, and Hunter didn't want him to give up. And they probably got into some kind of argument. It was like, you do what you got to do or what you want to do.
Yeah,
I don't know. That was strange.
No, well, no, that's maybe why the outcome happened the way it happened too. But all right, what else we got next?
Well, you want to talk about the HBO undercards before we jump in the Wilder one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Shoot.
Okay. I seen some of this fight today because actually I missed it when it was live, and I wanted to talk a little bit about Dimitri Bivol. There was a lot of talk about him over his win over a solid light heavyweight. He looks like a freaking cruiserweight. Sullivan Barrera, he looked like the bigger man in the ring. This Dimitri Bivol is pretty good. He's 13-0 now. He doesn't fight like a Russian or Eastern European to me.
Different style.
Right. No, he kind of fights like an American.
Yeah.
Because he uses some footwork.
Yeah.
Right. And he's not like a Kovalov or Golovkin in a sense. He does, because Max and Roy were going back and forth on this. Max sort of said, oh, he's like a Golovkin. And Roy's like, well, he uses in and out. He's not just one speed, one direction forward. He has good movement. He has fast hands. He has a pretty good defense. He uses some of it by blocking, but some of his defense is also used by stepping out of range, which I think is a good tactic because it gets the offensive fighter off rhythm. They can't time use good because you're in and out. So he beat Barrera pretty decisively. He stopped him in the 12th round, but he was winning on the cards by a wide margin. I don't know exactly what they were, but what I was watching, Barrera was in the fight, but not closely in the fight.
Hey, Jake Casillas was on here,
Oh,
and he said Bill Conte theme from Rocky gonna fly now. So
he knew.
I didn't look at it, so he might have called it before when you asked.
Oh, Jay's smart. He knows a lot about sports and a lot about different things.
He's a better wrestler too.
He's strong. Me and him had a little match. Jay's pretty strong. He's no slouch.
We heard the stories. That you
Yeah.
beat him in wrestling.
He kicked my butt.
Yeah. All right.
What do you think, Sammy, about that fight? What do you think about Dimitri?
I thought it was a very impressive win. You know, Sullivan Barrera is a solid guy. He's got a good amateur background, strong Cuban fighter. I thought Bivol looked very, very good. Is he a top guy? Would I pick him over Andre Ward or Sergey Kovalov? I don't think I would at this point.
Not over Kovalov?
Not over Kovalov. No, I don't think so. How about you?
I think he could pretty soon. I don't think Kovalov's going to be is the same as he was.
Yeah, that's what
I don't think
too.
so.
You know what I found kind of surprising about this fight? Bivol looked kind of small. If you see him next to Sullivan Barrera, he looked like a weight class or two under Barrera.
He did look like a weight class under.
This guy looks like a middleweight.
He looked like,
to
me, maybe like a 168. Barrera looks like a cruiserweight almost. That's why I called him cruiserweight. He seemed like the naturally bigger guy. No doubt about that.
Yes. What did you think about Bivol as a punching power? There was a lot of talk about how great of a puncher he is. I don't think he's like a Gennady Golovkin type of puncher. He's solid, but not quite at that level.
No, I would say his punching power is definitely above average, but it's not at that extreme Kovalov, Golovkin level. No, but he has fast hands. He puts his combos together.
Yes. And you know what? I'll say, HBO, they really hype up these Russian fighters. If you look at HBO, they hype them up. It's like they want these Russians to be successful.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And I'll be honest with you, if I was a black fighter, that would bother me.
Well, here's my thing too with that, because I've noticed that
they push them too.
But why?
They overdo it. It's like they.
Do you think there's Russian investments maybe in HBO?
That's a tough question. Man,
and maybe that's why they're pushing it.
You're looking at it from a different angle. It could be maybe like a big guy in HBO could be Russian. I don't know, because they always hype them up. Every Russian is like hyped up.
Yeah.
And I mean, even this guy. I mean, he looked good, but they made him out to be like he was the second coming of.
Yeah. And I do know
Sugar
that
Ray Robinson.
Yeah, and a lot of the fighters that are coming out that are good are from that region, so that might be part of it. But it's mainly HBO, because you don't see a ton of it on Showtime.
No, you don't.
No, it's more HBO.
Yeah.
But you know what? HBO, I noticed they also push other international fighters.
Yeah.
Like they were pushing the hell out of Chocolatito.
But
they pushed the Japanese guy, Inoue, but Inoue is good. I like Inoue.
Good point.
You know what you know what it might be also, though? Might be like sports and scouts. So it might just be that they have certain scouts that look for fighters, and they're in that region, and that's why they get that way. And then it could be the scouting. Just like example, the Bulls tend to get international players, Mirotic, Kukoc, you know what I mean?
Right.
Well,
their scouts go to those areas and look at it. So it might be they have
like the agent that's in certain V side.
Yeah.
Remember the Thailand guy?
Yeah.
They like those guys, those international
so
guys.
they probably have scouts that go out there, they search for these fighters, they see them, they bring them aboard, and they say, all right, come on, let's do it.
But they do push the Russian. They got that other guy, what's his name, that Ukraine guy or something, Goldstead. They got a couple guys they put on there. He's like a middleweight too, or light heavyweight. They put him on there.
Goldsdecker.
Yeah, Goldsdeck.
Very good fighter.
Yeah. They put him on there. Gennady, Kovalov.
They had Klitschko on there.
Yeah.
They had Lomachenko on
Boring
there for a
fight.
while.
Lomachenko, right.
Klitschko, boring.
It seems like they don't push these young black fighters like the Charlos, like the Andrades. They don't seem to give them that bump, and I just don't know what it is.
That's
I believe Mayweather actually called him out on that before.
Oh, he did?
And I think he has a good point. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Mayweather. He almost got beat up by the fight doc, or what's his
Merchant.
name?
Larry Merchant.
If he was 50 years younger. All right. So what else we got?
Okay. The Sergey Kovalov fight before Igor. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
That's why we don't like the Russian fighters. You
Igor,
can't pronounce their name.
I guess they knew each other. They were in a Russian team together. Igor's a southpaw. I didn't see this whole fight I caught it in like the 4th round. Igor looked like a good classical boxer, but he didn't have the power to keep Sergey Kovalev away. Sergey Kovalev is a very hard hitter, one of the hardest hitters at 175. And Igor had good boxing skills, but it wasn't enough. He got hampered. He got by cuts. He was cut up pretty bad, and he kept continuing.
Do you think, though, he's going to, like you already said it, though, you don't think he's going to be the fighter he was?
No, I think at the elite level, I don't think Sergey's going to be. He's 34 right now.
I know everybody had that
defeat.
talk.
What talk?
Of he's going to be one of the best. And
well,
you know what? Hey,
he was up there.
You know what? Don't sleep on Sergey Kovalev. If you look at Andre Ward and Kovalev, you look at those 2 fights, Kovalev, I believe, won the majority of the rounds. Even the
2nd fight?
No, combined.
Oh.
The rounds combined, like how many rounds they fought. What was it? Like 20 rounds, 22 rounds, whatever they fought. Kovalev, I felt, won more rounds. And if you look at it, he made a tactical mistake in that 2nd fight. I'm watching the TV screen. I'm watching this fight live. And Ward keeps hitting him low or borderline low. What are fighters trained to do? When a guy hits you borderline low, you hit him back borderline low.
To make it stop.
Make it stop. I'm yelling at the TV screen, Cole, hit him low back. He wouldn't do it. He would not do it. And even Roy Jones brought this up during the broadcast. He said the Eastern Europeans, they're not taught that way. Same thing happened with Lomachenko. Remember when Lomachenko fought against Salido, his 2nd fight? Salido was doing the same thing. He was fighting him dirty.
Very dirty.
And Lomachenko did not respond properly. You know, I blame that on Kovalev's corner. If I'm in Kovalev's corner, I tell Kovalev immediately when he comes back to the corner, hey, listen, that guy hits you again. I want you to hit him low. That was a tactical mistake by Kovalev. I think he could have changed that whole fight. A lot of people are sleeping on Kovalev. Kovalev is a very good boxer.
Yeah,
he has good boxing skills. Don't think he's just a power puncher.
Should he get rid of his trainers then?
He did get rid of his trainer.
So
right
he's got a Russian guy.
Yeah, he's got some Russian guys. And they say he's a big partier. I heard he likes to party.
Who, Kovalev?
Kovalev. I heard he likes to drink.
Yeah.
You know, so. But I don't sleep on him just yet. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I liked him. His fights are exciting too. So, I mean, I hope he does get back up there. But, I mean, to Jackman's point, the guy is 34. So he's getting up there in age for boxing at least. I mean, not per Hopkins' age, but.
Right.
I mean, for boxing, that's pretty up there.
I mean, he's good. I want to see. I got some rankings here real fast. I want to see who they got in the 175 division that I think maybe can. I mean, Golovkin's still good, but I don't know if he's going to reach like he once did. But let's see who's there. One light heavyweight. Who did they got? They got Adonis Steven. He's, what is he? Some kind of champion. Sergey Kovalev won. Sullivan Barrera. Well, this is preceding the Sullivan Barrera Dimitri Bivol fight. Okay, Sullivan Barrera 2. Badu Jack 3. Elgar Alvarez 4. Oslander Govkinen, the Ukraine that I was talking about. He's number 5. Joe Smith Jr., he's the one who knocked out Bernard Hopkins, number 6, which lost to Sullivan Barrera. Artur Berebiov, he's a power puncher from Russia. And Dimitri Bivol, he's number 8. I'm sure he moved up a couple notches with that victory. Marcus Brown, one of the only USA, or I think, yeah, one of other than Joe Smith Jr. is number 9. I seen him before. He need like a real tall dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Igor Milinkin, that's the one who what's his name just beat? Kovalev. So, Adonis Stevens, I think, is still dangerous for Kovalev. What do you think, Sammy? Adonis
Stevenson is dangerous for anybody. The guy hits like a mule.
Yeah, he does.
With that one punch.
That left hand.
I would say he's the biggest puncher in boxing.
No, Sammy's right.
And you know what? The guy's 40. Look how he moves. And he started boxing at 20 years old. Imagine if this guy started boxing at 8 years old or 10 years old.
Naturally
He's
gifted.
phenomenal. 40 years old. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he got into it late.
And I heard Kovalev calling out Badu Jack if he gets past Stevenson. Now, I'm a big Badu Jack fan. I think he's really technically sound. I think he's a good boxer. Also, he's a 168 guy. He's coming up to 175. I don't know how he's going to fare. He has been knocked out once before, but he's been looking better and better. He's 35 years old, but his last his last few years, he's been really, you know, pretty dominant for the most part. Him and Grove had a close fight a couple years ago. I'm a big George Groves fan too, but I don't know. I like Badu Jack. I think Badu Jack could present some problems to Kovalov with his boxing skills, but I think Kovalov's power punch, I think he can give him some problems. I don't know if he can beat Kovalov. And Badabiov is a power puncher, and I think Dmitry Bivol, give him a couple more fights, a little more experience. I think he can give Kovalov problems. I do. I think with his movement, he can give Kovalov problems and his boxing skills.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great fight. Speaking of Beterbiev, what happened to him?
I haven't heard of him.
Heard much. I mean, you know, that guy was he was on a tear, and I'm looking at it here. The last time he fought was November of 2017. He fought against an opponent named Enrique Colling. But he doesn't really have any top 5, top 10 guy on his resume. I believe his best win is probably Tavares Cloud, which is a solid win. But I really wanted to see him against Stevenson. But the problem was they had the same manager, I believe. They're both fighting out of Montreal, and that fight was never able to materialize. But that's a fight that I would love to see.
2 power punchers.
Light heavyweight division's pretty solid. You got Stevenson, you got Ward, you got Badu Jack. It would be nice to have a nice round robin and have all those guys fight it out.
All right, so what do you got next there? Is it Wilder? Or you got more undercard?
No, it's Wilder, my friend.
So
this is one of the most, I gotta say, you keep saying boring, but other than the Klitschko Joshua fight, this is one of the most heavyweight fight that I actually remember from like the 90s. Got excited, got tense, got watching for every punch, got really into it. This fight really grabbed my attention and really glued me to the TV. Deontay Wilder versus Louis King Kong Ortiz. Now, in the last show I did with Big Nick, you guys, I kind of favored Wilder, but deep inside, I thought Ortiz was going to win.
Well, yeah, you called it.
I put sleeper, don't sleep on Ortiz.
Don't sleep on Ortiz, and you called it.
I called it.
Ortiz had the fight in a way,
but I really didn't call it because Wilder won.
No, yeah, but
I knew it was going to be close.
He controlled the majority of the fight.
I thought he did,
and then Wilder came in at the end and he pulled it off. So I mean, it was an exciting fight. I liked the fight.
You liked the fight?
Yeah. For heavyweights, we haven't seen a fight heavyweight wise like this in 15 years probably.
I agree. It was very exciting. And what also made it exciting is, number one, for us, Wilder is an American fighter.
Yeah.
When was the last time
we've seen an American heavyweight?
Yes. It's been a long time. I mean, for this type of excitement, when was the last time we had it? Was probably Riddick Bowe, Evander Holyfield in those days. We haven't had anybody. And if you look at Wilder, he has a good personality. He's got a good right hand. He has all the makings to in a way, carry boxing to bring back excitement in the heavyweight division. I mean, I think that Wilder has a very good chance to even beat Joshua. I think it's close to a 50-50
That's going to be a good fight too.
I really hope they make that fight. That's going to be a hell of a fight.
And that's what they're rumoring to try to get. But I think that would be a great fight.
Who would you guys lean on? I'll probably lean on Joshua. But I think
I'm leaning towards
fight.
Joshua too a little bit, but not by much. I mean, it would really depend to see how Wilder trains. I mean, you think that's going to be the next fight, or you think they're going to throw someone else in between?
Man, it's hard to say. Anthony Joshua's got a fight coming up.
Yeah, so he'll have
against another undefeated
fighter. Do you think Joshua's going to go right into Wilder?
March 31st.
Or do you think Wilder's going to have another fight in between that and then go to Joshua?
I think that fight could possibly happen.
The next one.
There's a big buildup in it right now.
I'm leaning a little bit towards Joshua, but I mean, I'm going to be rooting for. I want Wilder.
I also like to say, there's nothing like a good heavyweight fight.
There isn't.
I realized that after the Wilder fight.
Yeah.
Here during the weekend, we had Kovalov, who's a very exciting fighter. We had Durrell, but heavyweight is just special.
There's something about
just
it.
Yeah, they're
walking into
special.
the ring at any time the fight can end. It's just magical.
Yeah, no,
Boxing needs the
they need
heavyweights.
it bad. They need
They need it
heavyweight.
really bad.
And they either, like we were talking about before with HBO or Showtime, if they're going for Russians or whatever, then they have to start looking for big fighters, heavyweight fighters that can come out there and put a show on for people.
Well, right now we have a problem in this country.
No
We don't-
boxing.
They're
no one
playing.
does
They're
boxing.
playing basketball and football.
Exactly.
Well, not just that, but
the
All our
it's
best
also
athletes.
portrayed. It's,
Yeah.
Well, no, I wouldn't even say football. Football's losing a lot too. I mean, it's the whole concussion thing.
Right.
People don't want their kids getting hit in the face.
Interesting. You know what? You make a good point.
They don't want
Do you-
that.
Right now, most people say that football has the best athletes. Do you think 10 years from now, 20 years from now, it might be basketball? It could be baseball.
I think basketball is
no.
even coming close
No.
now.
You're, good point, guys.
You
I
know-
think
you wanna
basketball
know-
have very
it's a
good
great
athletes.
Do
point,
you want to
guys.
know who has the best athletes?
Who?
Soccer,
I don't think so.
hands down.
I think
They're cardiovascular, their muscle mass. I mean, think about it.
They're
And-
more endurance.
Yeah, and they're sticky.
Yes.
You really can't take roids or
But,
anything like
hey,
that either.
who can run like Deion Sanders though? Is there any
Football-
soccer-
Oh, dude, I can find you soccer players that can outrun him
Deion Sanders? Come
Yeah.
on, man. You're kidding me.
in a 40-yard.
No way.
Grab Mo Salah
way.
from Liverpool. He'll take
No
him out in a
way.
40.
Deion Sanders? No, man.
Football players
That
are
guy
the
ran a
most explosive.
4.27.
Football
at the
players are the
combine.
most.
Okay,
4.27.
but how much
Most
steroids
explosive.
are they on?
Deion Sanders was a great athlete. Deion Sanders could have played soccer. He played baseball
He played
and he played
baseball.
football.
I,
Deion Sanders,
in
best
my
cornerback
opinion,
of all
the
time.
healthiest and the leanest athletes, and probably the most
Cover
cleanest
cornerback.
athletes
Not. I don't know about.
are soccer players, in my opinion.
Well, they
He
have a
didn't
good
tackle that
skill
good,
level. They
Deion
have
Sanders.
good timing. They have a
Yeah.
lot of different. I mean,
It's just overall.
I
they
don't
got
know.
speed. They've got endurance. Soccer players are in much better health. You don't.
health, yes. 'cause
Yeah.
they're lighter.
Yeah,
They're
but
smaller.
lighter.
overall athletes. You don't hear soccer player. Well, you do very rarely. They just one died from Italian Serie A.
Well, I mean, a lot of them live in Europe, though. It's a healthier lifestyle anyway.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
yeah.
I can
the
see
food is healthier. You know, they're not shooting all, all the
Yeah,
food with
but I mean,
chemicals and all that.
No, I agree. Going back to what you're saying with football, yeah, I think that now you do not have the steady stream and flow that you were getting in the past in football, because a lot of parents are preventing their kids from playing football. And I'm gonna be honest with you, they're having the kids play basketball and baseball now.
Would you let your kid play football?
I would.
You would.
You would?
I would. If I had a son, I don't have a son.
Would-
If I had a son, I would.
Would you let him box?
No.
Okay. I'm also with you.
And more probably because I understand that you hit in football, but your chances of potentially getting hurt more in football are far less than sitting and having a grown man potentially on steroids try to swing at your head and rip your head off. I mean that, and
I don't know. Football's pretty dangerous,
I
guys.
agree.
no, it is.
Football's pretty dangerous.
You could tear a knee. You
I'm
could
not
tear
saying it's
anything.
not. Yeah, of course, but
Yeah.
I mean, especially seeing after like how
And I got the
Muhammad
Bears
Ali,
shirt.
like how Muhammad Ali ended up turning into, and
No,
and, like,
definitely boxing. Any
it's
trauma
more
to the
brutal.
head.
Yeah.
No, but football's trauma to the head too.
And that's why I think in boxing, you see people who come from a lifestyle that are very poor. Even like these Russian guys they're bringing in, it's a lifestyle where they do that to get away from the way they lived in their countries. So it's a way of them to get out. And that's why I don't think Klitschko's a little bit different, but I mean, he's a doctor, isn't he?
That's what they say.
Yeah.
Who knows what kind of,
Yeah. But I mean, overall, I mean, I think boxing's more brutal, and that's why you're not seeing the talent, I guess, in that than you had before. But
That's
knows?
part of it.
Well, I mean, if
But
you
I think
look
they're
at
playing
it, yeah.
basketball and
But
football
you have
too.
the park districts. You don't have boxing in the park districts anymore.
Yeah, no.
You don't have boxing in high school anymore. Back in the days, they had that.
yeah, you got to go to gyms or something now.
Yeah. So
Which there's very few of them, even
And-
in the city here in the city.
not only that, but you have to be like the best boxer to make money. In football, if you're like a very good player, solid guy, you can go to college, you can get a scholarship. There's a lot of outlets for football
Yeah,
where you can be successful even if you don't make the NFL.
yeah, true.
Yeah. I mean, but I want to say a little bit about Ortiz. I like Louis King Kong Ortiz a lot. I think he was controlling the fight. I think he's the better boxer. He's the more experienced boxer. He was doing little things, subtle things that boxers do to make Wilder apprehensive to throw the punch. He was feinting a lot. He was throwing his Wilder's timing off. So Wilder was scared to commit. But Wilder won on his use, his size. He's 6'7". Yeah. He won on that and his devastating punching power. Like Sammy said, he has a really strong, hard-hitting right hand. And he hurt Ortiz in the 5th round. Luckily, it was near the end of the round. Ortiz got up, shook it off, has a lot of heart himself. He went at it. In the 7th round, Wilder was on Queer Street. I mean, he was almost, the ref could have almost stopped that fight. I mean, he was wobbling across the ring. But I got to say that one thing about Wilder. He's shown the vulnerability to get hurt, but he doesn't give up. He has a lot of heart. And in the 10th round, you can see Ortiz was slowly fading away. His energy was going down. He was getting a little tired. And Wilder was able to stop him. I got to say, one thing that makes the Joshua Wilder fight so intriguing is they're both vulnerable. They're both defense. You've seen them hurt. You've seen them down in fights. And either one can punch real hard. Either one could knock the other one out. I got to say one thing about Joshua. I probably favor Joshua a little bit over Wilder, but not by much. I got to say one thing about Joshua, to be careful when he fights Wilder. If Wilder gets you hurt, this guy has a lot of energy and a lot of endurance, and he will go for the finish.
Yeah.
I agree, and I think you make a great point about the size. If you look at Wilder, he's only 213 pounds, but he's 6'7". And I mean, literally, this guy could probably put 30, 40 pounds on their frame and still have a six-pack and still be cut. He's got a phenomenal frame. When was the last time you seen a fighter 213 pounds that is that big?
Never.
For crying out loud, I'm like,
he reminds me of Lennox Lewis a little.
And this guy's huge.
But Lennox was a little bigger.
Yeah,
he was
Lennox
coming
was-
about
yeah, Lennox
240s.
He
right?
has a similar
maybe-
type of
35.
Maybe
frame.
when he was young,
230s.
235.
Yeah, when he
Yeah.
was slimmer when he was younger.
Yeah.
You're right. When in the 93 when he
Yeah.
beat what's his name? Ruddock, one of my favorite fighters from the 90s.
Yeah.
I love Donovan Razor Ruddock.
Yeah. So, all right. So, what do we got? Our Canelo story.
Yeah, Canelo.
All right. Hold on. Before we get into the Canelo, I wanted to make sure we go live on Facebook too. So then that way we're on there. So this is the second half for people who are jumping on Facebook. So if you're catching us on Facebook, if you go over to YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can catch us there and see the whole shows in here. We're talking boxing here with Bull and Jackman, and we'll keep it here for the rest of the show on Facebook. So, all right, we're going Canelo. Canelo being basically tested, and he failed the steroid test. So, what's your thoughts?
My thought is it's not a big surprise to me.
Not at all.
I had a huge suspicion, and I mentioned this to other people before that Golovkin fight. I thought he was on steroids.
Yeah.
They had a show with him and his brother building up the fight. I'm like, his brother's on steroids. This guy, he's on steroids. I mean, they're out in Mexico. That's where a lot of the steroids in the United States come from. So it doesn't surprise me at all. It really doesn't.
So it's funny though, the excuse that they're using that it came from beef. Like
Come
really,
on.
Beef.
Come on, give me a
dude.
break.
Like at least something different. But I mean, the excuse is, do you think this jeopardizes the fight?
No.
Not at all.
So are they going to
No.
punish him in any way? Are they going to test him more? Like, because now that's going to linger. And if Canelo beats Triple G now they're going to be like, oh, it's because of the steroids.
Well, they will test them, but it won't stop the fight because money talks.
Yeah.
It won't
I
stop the
agree.
fight.
I think the fight's going to still continue.
Yes.
I think Triple G would be an idiot to tell him, no, I'm not going to fight the guy now that he's on steroids. But I mean, I think this puts a hindering on Canelo now, because if Canelo wins this fight, that's it. Everyone's going to say it's because of the steroids.
Well, Canelo did transform his body a little bit. When I seen that fight, I'm like, wait a minute, this dude is bigger and more cut. I mean, I used to work out, and whenever I got bigger, I got less cut. I don't know. Some guys have better genetics than me, of course, but when I got leaner, I got more cut. I never got bigger and got more cut at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm sure Canelo's genetic, you know, he's better than mine, but still, when I seen him in that fight, I'm like, and even the way he fought, he didn't have much energy. You know, he didn't have much. I don't know what the steroids does. I heard sometimes
slows you down.
That can do that to you. I mean,
I don't know. I don't think it slows you down. I mean, like I said, nowadays it's like a science. They have so many different types of steroids that it's a science. Do you guys remember Evander Holyfield back in the day? How old was he? 32, 33. They thought his career was over.
Right.
He would go back to the corner. He would have trouble breathing. And people were like, oh, you know, he's got that heart problem. He had a heart attack in the ring. That wasn't a heart attack in the ring. He was on steroids.
Yeah.
He was taking the wrong type of steroids, the wrong type of dosage. And then he figured it out how to do the steroids properly. And then he became, you know, he fought another 5-10 years.
He got like resurrected after that.
He got exactly. So.
Yeah, that was, I remember, that was 95, the third fight against Riddick Bowe.
Yes.
Yeah.
He had Riddick Bowe down and out. He knocked him down.
Round. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Riddick Bowe got up. He couldn't finish him off.
He
he had no energy.
And then he looked like crap in the Michael Moore fight too. He didn't look like himself.
No, he didn't look good in the Michael Moore fight too.
So Canelo,
but then the next year he beat Mike Tyson in 96.
Yeah, and then you know what he said? The Lord cured me.
Right, he did say that.
He said the Lord cured me from the heart attack, and he came back like nothing ever happened.
Right.
That guy was a hustler.
If you turn,
Holyfield was a hustler.
He was
a hustler.
So if you turn now, even with the steroids of Canelo, and now you do Canelo Triple G, who do you think's going to win?
Well, I mean,
I'm saying Canelo. I still called it, but that's because I think they're going to do a 3.
I mean, I just saw it from the last fight. From what I saw in the last fight, I think Canelo has a good chance of winning this fight. Initially, the first fight I called Triple G. I saw that Triple G's the size, 160. Canelo moving up. Triple G's a little longer. He comes at it. He's going to wear him down and possibly stop Canelo in the late rounds. That didn't happen. It looked like Canelo probably hurt Triple G more than Triple G hurt Canelo. And I just see Triple G's going on worst side of 35. He's going to 36. Canelo's in his prime at 26. And usually when they rematch like that, the younger guy comes up on top. I think Canelo has a good chance of winning this next fight. I don't know how you feel, Sammy.
I agree with you guys because the intimidation factor with Golovkin is not going to be there anymore.
Yeah.
Not only against Canelo, but against anybody.
That's
Before
true.
He had that Tyson aura about him, like, oh my God, it's Triple G, and people would, you know, they would get nervous before they even got in the ring. Now Canelo, he took Golovkin's best. He's going to say, you know what, I took his best.
He did.
And I think Canelo can make more adjustments than Triple G can in this fight.
So here's a question for you then.
Even Jacobs took some of that invincibility away.
Yes,
from
Jacobs
Golovkin.
did.
He's the first one.
Exactly.
That give everyone else hope that they can beat him.
Absolutely.
So here's a question for you for discipline stuff. So if you're not going to discipline him, then why would other fighters not take steroids?
I'm sure they'll probably discipline him,
but
they're
with
gonna,
what, cash?
Cash. But they might give him a $50,000 fine.
Yeah,
that's nothing for Canelo,
that's nothing.
Right?
Like,
so
that's what I'm saying with steroid usage. If they're trying to control steroid usage, the punishment should be right now to him is okay. Then you can't fight, and then you got to reapply, and we got to retest everything all over again. So he loses that fight, and that's because he failed the drug test. And until they start punishing, and not just in boxing and in any sport, if they don't start punishing these athletes,
severe punishment,
then
severe, not small ones.
But you know what? It's a slippery slope, though, because the fans want
to see the fight.
I mean, look what happened to Brock Lesnar too in the UFC when he fought. What's his name? The last guy he fought, the Samoan guy.
Oh, the guy with the great chin.
Yeah,
Mark Hunt.
He failed the drug test after the fight was done.
Right.
And then on top of it, and I know it's a completely different company, he goes to the WWE, and then they don't even Vince doesn't even punish him. I'm like, wait a minute. If you just found out you're his boss, and you just found that his previous employment, he just failed steroid test, why wouldn't you retest him in your company and then see if he fails and punish him?
The whole WWE's on
That's
steroids.
What I'm saying.
Vince McMahon's on
steroids.
Right.
But it's the fact that they're taking these tests to try to make sure they're keeping it under control. But that's the problem with steroids. No one is.
What do you think should happen?
I think he should.
So like NFL players.
Okay, it depends. If we're going to agree of just let everybody use it so it's an even playing field, let everyone use it. Don't bring it out. Don't say it's bad. Just let everybody use it. And honestly, to tell you the truth, with the lack of these organizations with fining and disciplining them, I'm for just let everybody use it. Just stop telling these guys don't use it. Just let everybody use it.
I don't know if you can do that though because of the kids, and it kind of brings a black eye to the game.
Okay, so then if you're not going to do that and you want to discipline them, they got to be harsh.
Yeah. What's going to happen to sports though? If you do that, parents are going to be like, you know what? We're not going to have our kids play football.
Yeah,
we're not going to have our kids.
Drugs.
Yeah, we'll have them do ballet or something like that. Then
Yeah.
what happens?
Piano.
You know, yeah,
Jackman
exactly.
played piano. Or no, wait, what did Jackman play?
Oregon.
No, was it the?
Oh, I played that too.
What was that?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
What is that?
When you told me that, I wanted to laugh.
What is that thing called again?
I don't know, man. What's that thing
Yeah.
called, Bull?
I'm not.
It's
an
that one
instrument
thing
guy.
with like the
Yeah, that
man.
You
I
know,
forgot.
I'd like to make another point also. These days, you need sports. Kids these days are extremely soft.
Video games.
It's not only video games; it's they're sensitive.
Yeah.
Think about this.
It's the society.
It's a society. Look, when we were growing up, my dad would, the way he would talk to me, it would be child abuse these days.
Oh.
Remember your dad?
It's
Your dad
still
would be like,
to
"You
this
lazy
day.
bum.
Yeah.
You're a bum." Literally,
this
that's how my
day.
dad would talk to me. What are you sleeping? I'd sleep 9 hours. I was 17-year-old kid. He'd be yelling at me. You sleep all day. And man, think about it. Think about it. Look at Jackman, man. Jackman was working at a tire shop when he was 16.
Yeah.
You get these
Yeah.
you get these kids today, you see them working at a tire shop 16. No, their parents feel sorry for them. They
Yeah.
want to
Right.
baby them.
right.
The old school people were different.
Yeah.
You know, we all
We
come
grew
from a
up tougher.
family of immigrants.
Well,
all of us.
we were talking about. I don't know if you were on the show about the game of basketball too, about how it's changed completely, and how it went from where it was to where it's at today, and it's like a soft sport now. You can't even touch someone with a finger
It
anymore.
is.
Whereas
Yes.
before, when we played,
The
you
whole
can touch them
society
with
is
a hand
soft.
or whatever.
the whole society is soft.
And then we even started talking even further and started saying, okay, well, now let's start grabbing athletes from back in that era and put them into the modern era. And then do you think they would do good? You know what I mean?
I think they do great.
I don't think so
I think
because of all the fouls that you put Charles Barkley in the modern day era right now, he wouldn't be
Hey,
successful.
listen, Charles
yeah, he would.
Barkley.
All the stars would. They would have.
Charles Barkley was a phenomenal athlete. He could do anything.
Yeah, but
He
it's a
could
different
shoot, he
game
could
now.
dunk. Doesn't matter, man.
Okay, now,
Barkley was
reverse
He's a
grabbing,
great athlete.
Barkley was grabbing 13 boards a game at 6'5". What do you think he'd do today?
Put Seth Curry into the old game.
Seth Curry wouldn't do nothing.
Yeah, they would
He
tear him up. The
he'd be a
Pistons
solid-
would tear him up.
No,
yeah, the
I
bad
don't
boys
think
would kill him.
Yeah.
I don't think he wouldn't do nothing. He wouldn't be as effective, but he would still have his role as a shooter.
All the sports are softer. Even
All of
boxing is
them, all of
softer.
them, all
Look
of
at boxing, the way the guys went at it back in the day.
Boxing's softer, but you know what? I see improvement in the referees in the corner stopping the fight sooner now. They used to let the shit go on too long
Yeah,
where someone gets
someone would
messed
get
up.
hurt.
Yeah, they're a little better with that now.
I
I do
agree.
see that, and
I
I do
agree.
like that improvement.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
in any case, whatever. That's a whole nother topic with steroids and all that stuff. But
But it didn't surprise me too much.
Yeah.
as a test.
it's unfortunate, and it is what it is. But regardless, we're going to see the fight, and we'll see what happens. All right. What else do you got? You got like a fight schedule of upcoming fights?
Yeah, a couple fights.
All right, go.
Okay. Mikey Garcia is fighting tomorrow.
Yes.
Mikey Garcia is one of my favorite fighters.
He is.
He weighed in 139 and a half pounds. He's 37-0 with 30 knockouts. Now, mind you, a lot of those wins were coming in at 126, right? That's where he started, right, Sammy?
Yes.
Yeah. And then he has fought a few fights at 135. This one's going to be at 140. He's fighting Sergey Lupinets. They call him the Kakistan Kid. He's 13-0 with 10 KOs. He weighed in at 139 and 3/4 pounds.
Jay Casillas named your instrument.
Accordion.
Accordion.
Yes.
I was
Damn,
like,
I
yes,
couldn't.
it's right there.
I did play the accordion when I was growing up. Yeah, I did. Lipowitz, did you see Sammy some of his fights?
I've seen one of his fights. He's a strong fighter, come forward fighter.
Okay.
Solid guy, undefeated guy. It's always interesting when you have an undefeated fighter. They haven't learned how to lose yet.
Right.
And they always make for a tough fight because they're going to give it their all 100%. When
They
you
never
get-
lost. They don't know
Yes.
a way. They don't know how to lose. Right.
You'll notice when guys lose 3-4 times, they're not quite the same. They don't have that same belief in themselves. And boxing is such a psychological sport, probably the most psychological sport.
Yeah, because you know what? It's one-on-one.
Exactly.
It's one-on-one, and it's like some of it comes down to will, desire, skill too. But boxing's not all skill, because you see a lot of guys who are more skilled than their opponent, and they'll beat them in a 3-round fight. But in a 12th-round fight, they won't a lot of times. So anyway, Lipowitz, I'm thinking, is going to have the naturally bigger man, because Garcia started 126, right, Sammy?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. But Garcia is a great boxer. He's fundamentally sound. He's a technician. He's boxing family. I mean, what can you say? His brother's a trainer. His brother was a champion. His dad was a boxer. I mean, just fighting family. And I don't know. I want to see that fight tomorrow. I want to see that fight.
I like Garcia, not only as a boxer, but as a person. Yeah, he seems like when they interview him, he's a humble guy. He's a guy that you want to represent the sport.
Yeah, I like Mikey Garcia a lot.
And great skills. I mean, like I believe we brought it up in the last show. I'd love to see him and Lomachenko.
Yeah. 135.
I would love
him
to
and
see.
Lomachenko, 135.
Yes.
That's where Mikey Garcia shouldn't fight was 140, 147 no more. Go back down to 135. Fight Lomachenko 135, and let's see the flashiness of Lomachenko versus the skill and the soundness of Mikey Garcia.
Yeah,
the Mexican style against the flashiness in the Ukraine. That would be great. Contradicting styles, which would make it great. A lefty who's southpaw, who's flashy, who moves around, who fights at odd angles, versus a very conventional Mexican sound fighter.
Who would you favor in that fight? That's close to a 50-50 fight also.
It is.
I mean, Garcia has the power advantage.
You think so, huh?
Yeah, Garcia definitely, I believe, hits harder than Lomachenko. Lomachenko makes guys
a smaller
quit.
guy.
He frustrates them.
Right.
He doesn't really hurt them. He's not a concussive puncher.
I think Garcia would take him.
You think so, huh?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That'd be a good fight, though.
It'd be a hell of a fight.
Yeah.
I'd probably lean on Lomachenko.
I might lean on Lomachenko too, but I think Garcia is right there, especially at 135.
Yeah.
And Lomachenko started at 126 also. They said he won what? Did he win the gold, right?
Yeah, he won 2 gold medals.
Oh, he won 2 gold medals.
Back to back, yeah.
Yeah, wow. He fought at 135, they said, in the amateurs in the gold. So it's not a weight that he's uncomfortable at. But Garcia is a hard puncher. I don't know. That's why it's be so interesting, because it's contradicting style, southpaw versus orthodox fighter, and it'd be a very good fight to watch, and that's the fight I want to watch, because I heard talk of Garcia trying to move up and fight these guys at 147, like Thurman and Crawford, and saying he wants to fight.
He's just trying to chase the money.
Yeah, I don't think he should do that. I think he should go down, or he would get good money with Lomachenko and fight Lomachenko 135.
Yeah, then go back up, or then go up.
Man, maybe if he cleans out the division there.
All right, what else we got?
You know, speaking of money, guys, that's what guys like Mayweather, they're very special fighters. Because if you think about it, they made all this money and they still continue to perform at a high level. Think about it this way. You're a fighter. You got a $10 million fight. All right. You win that fight. You're living in a mansion. Your family's set for life. It's a little bit harder to go to the gym.
A lot harder.
It's a lot harder because you feel like you made it already. So it's
Yeah.
like a psychological, it's like a negative psychologically. And you're still able to perform at that high level. That's what makes the great athletes like Jordan and Mayweather so special, that they still trained hard despite having all the money.
That's true. The consistency.
Yes.
That's true.
Because you could be physically the most talented guy in the world. If you're not a hard worker, you're not going to get to that level.
I agree. You got to put in the work and constantly put in the work. And not rest, you know.
All right, what you got next?
Okay, let's see what else we got. Oscar Velez versus Scott Quigg. He's from England?
Yeah.
Oscar Velez is a very hard puncher, guys. I seen him fight a couple fights. He's a young upcoming Mexican fighter who's a very hard puncher. Scott Quigg, he's more of a boxer, I think. That's going to be an interesting fight. That's going to be on ESPN tomorrow. I think that. I haven't seen a lot of Scott Quigg, but I would favor Velez. I don't know. And then, okay, some talk. I kind of want to see this. Now, both fighters are on the downhill, but I want to see this fight. Manny Pacquiao versus Lucas Matisse, possible matchup,
Yeah,
June
they're saying
24th.
that's possible.
That would be great. That would be a good fight for both guys.
And they're saying Roach. What's the deal with Roach leaving him possibly?
Right. They said when you talk about the fights, you're supposed to name your trainer.
Yeah.
And Roach was not named. It was unnamed. His trainer was unnamed.
Yeah.
So that's, I don't know, a little interesting there.
Yeah, they raised that question.
That's a good fight for both fighters. Let's face it, these guys are a little older. They're not going to beat Crawford. They're not going to beat Spence.
No.
They're not going to beat Lomachenko at this point in their career.
No.
So I think this is makes sense for both guys. I think it's a fan-friendly fight. And I think it could be like a great farewell fight for both fighters.
Yeah.
Or if they win, obviously they can get another big fight, but it's a good fight. It's a good business decision. It's a fan-friendly fight. Why not make it?
Right. I see this fight going two ways. I see possibly Matisse stopping Pacquiao with that straight right hand because he punches very hard with that straight right hand. But I also can see Pacquiao being more aggressive, more busier, and wearing Matisse down, and Matisse in the later rounds maybe thinking he had enough, maybe not continuing, because I don't think Pacquiao will ever quit. Whatever happens to him, no, he won't quit. He'll die in the freaking ring. He won't stop. Matisse, I think Pacquiao, even at 39, still has enough to bring it to him, to bother him, to frustrate him, and to hurt him. And his style was his quickness and his attack. You know, it's not as relentless as it used to be, but it's still a pretty good attack. I think possibly can stop Matisse in the later round by wearing him down. I don't know. How do you see this fight, Big Nick? Or how do you see it?
I think almost just like you called it. I think Pacquiao, he has. I know he's old. It's more than likely his farewell fight. I think that overall, what you're going to end up having with him is a never quit. I think he's going to end up winning it. I think you have to give him the edge. He's going to try hard. He's going to train hard. He's going to make sure that he's ready for this. He wants to end it in a way of he wants to put a win up there. And I think it would be okay. I would watch it, but I wouldn't be something interested in it for the simple fact that none of these two fighters have any sort of a future.
No, they don't. Be like, this is like Sammy said, more of a farewell.
Yeah, it's like, let's watch and see what happens and then go on from there and stuff. But it'd be a nice thing to watch and stuff and see.
I think at this point, Matisse is probably the harder puncher with the straight right hand.
Yeah, Pacquiao's got a chin though, man.
You know, like I said, like you guys were saying earlier before, I mean, take a look at, for instance, when Irish Mickey Ward fought Arturo Gatti. Both these guys were on the downhill.
Yeah,
and they gave us one of the greatest fights of all time.
Yeah,
that's true.
So this fight can be a great fight. Don't think because these guys are older, they can't have a great fight where they can, have like a fight of the year type fight.
I'm more interested in what's going to happen with Roach. And if Roach, and if Roach is really going to...
He was with Pacquiao since 2001.
Yeah, like, is the relationship dead there? That's what I'm more interested in.
Yeah.
I mean, Pacquiao's been training a lot in the Philippines, right?
Yeah.
Not as much in the wild card gym.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think their relationship is quite as strong as it used to be.
Yeah. Let's face it, this is about money. Pacquiao's going to make the decision. If Pacquiao calls Roach a minute before the fight and says, hey, Roach, I want you to be in my corner, Roach will be there.
Yeah.
It's big money.
It would be weird to see Pacquiao without Roach in his corner. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Any other fights, or that's what you got?
No, that's what I got for right now. You guys have anything else?
No, I mean that's pretty much all I got. I think
tomorrow. So we got some good fights tomorrow. We got Garcia
some good fights.
And Lipowitz, and I also want to see Velez versus Quigg.
And then hopefully we'll see what happens with the outcome of the triple G Canelo and Canelo testing positive. We'll see what ends up happening with that, which I think is really going to be nothing.
Well, we have some big fights before that. We have Anthony Joshua versus Parker. 331.
Well, that was too loud. Sorry.
March 31.
Yeah. So
that'll be a great fight. Both guys undefeated. That's also going to be a great fight. And hopefully the winner of that fights Wilder.
We hope so.
Yeah, that's the one I'm interested about, and I hope it happens soon and stuff. But we'll obviously be looking at that. You got Garcia fighting tomorrow. It's going to be really some big fights coming up that are going to probably gel and see what happens with it. But I'm really interested in the Wilder Joshua getting sealed, hopefully after Joshua's win, so then we can see that fight because I think that'll be a good fight. All right, what do we got? Anything to close it out with, Jackman?
Hey, it was fun, Big Nick and Sammy.
Yeah.
Hope to see you guys next time.
Likewise, guys. Until next time.
One more round. We'll probably be back maybe in like 2 weeks. I know next week's going to be a short week because obviously due to a couple of us not being here, we will only be doing a wrestling show and a Sports Crunch Radio show, and we'll be doing it on the same night. So it's going to be a double show. So we'll probably be back in 2 weeks, which obviously will cover the Garcia fights and all that stuff and recap them. So I think that's
talk about future fights.
Yeah, and the future fights that are going to be happening. Really quick, though, because I didn't do this in the beginning, I wanted to actually promote our boy Z in the city, obviously, because this is boxing. So a lot of boxing fans watch MMA or vice versa. But I wanted to make sure everyone knows where he has. He has a gym in the city, which is CrossFit Sono. So it's voted one of the city's top strength and conditioning facilities. CrossFit Sono, Chicago MMA are located in Chicago's Lincoln Park neighborhood and just steps away from the Red Line Clybourne stop. Classes offered 7 days a week included a women's only self-defense program. Visit CrossFitSono.com and ChicagoMMA.com for additional info. Bull's going to start going there soon for MMA. Weren't you training for MMA, or do you still train MMA?
No, I was training jiu-jitsu a while back. I stopped training, though.
You were going to go in the octagon?
Nah, I was never going to go. Just doing
just to get you to keep in shape?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jackman should try MMA. Should we go trying to go to Zuki's gym? I think we should try it. All right, guys. For now, that's it. It's going to be hot this weekend. Enjoy the weekend, and the temperature is going to be like 40 degrees. Have a nice night. We will see you next week.
Take care, guys.
Take care. Peace.
Yeah.